The Rise of a Underachieving Society Part 2. As we travel in the adventures of the supercharger heaven, we have stumbled upon the people who are absolutely soft as pharmacy cotton, threatening self-harm if they have to work and or don't get their way. The priority in their life is fun and extracurricular activity, and never responsibility. They have found each other on the internet to spread the malarkey of working a job and being a responsible adult is bad and they need to live for free. The excuse of, I have childhood trauma so I can't be an adult, no accountability at all. Motherfucker, we all have childhood trauma, and the best way to deal with it is to not be a conniving ass, ashy foot ass, manipulating ass, underachieving ass motherfucker. Don't be a waste of space. Don't hide from your own shadow. Time to take life serious as fuck. Now, ladies and gentlemen, broke-ass dudes who want to be polygamist, PPP loan scammers, dusty-ass charlatans, watch your ass. I give you the Grand Duke of Lentaw, the Count of Monte Cristo, the Grand Inquisitor, the PPP loan scammer destroyer, the champion of Matulu's River, the original Chitlin Circuit cartel leader, the real brother caught between the moon and the mile-high city, the talented Mr. Dickey.
It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. No, it's here. The veteran.
All right.
The veteran.
All right.
Went through my pain.
I am Count of Monte Cristo, the Grand Duke of Lentaw, Prince Mama Walden, motherfucker, that's Blackula. I am the PPP loan scamming destroyer. I'm the talented Mr. Dickey, original dude from Supercharger Heaven. And today's show is part 2 of the Rise of Underachieving Society. And this is the conclusion, because I'm tired of addressing this shit. How's everybody doing? Yeah.
The veteran. The veteran. The veteran.
Yeah, it is Wednesday, Mile High City, and I got some feedback about the last video, so I'm gonna address a couple things. And actually, if it's part 2, I'm gonna just give you part 2 of everything, even the story. You know what I mean? But today's video and conclusion is just releasing the underachieving motherfuckers in life, man. You know what I mean? You got to speak on it, because you get people saying, you know, how do people like that? How does that affect your life and this and that, man? It'll affect your life. It will, because you got to interact with folk like this. You know what I'm saying? You have to deal with people like this on the daily. And if you're a go-getter like myself or anybody else, man, people like that, they bother the fuck out of us. They do. You know what I mean? You gotta do. You gotta work. You know what I mean? Period. No excuses and shit. But anyway, what a day. You know what I mean? Like what a day, what a week already and shit. And it's been a blessed week with work and everything, because how the economy's going with shit like this is a underachiever's dream. It really is, man, with every excuse not to perform. So yeah, let me go ahead and do part 2, I guess, of my story, because I got asked, what happened to that Thunderbird that you bought? You know what I'm saying? I got to ask that shit. So let me cue up music. Let me make sure that motherfucker is down, and I'm going to bump the same motherfucking music. You know what I mean? I'm going to bump the same one. So here it is. Let's see. Yep, there we go. There we go. So, part 2 of the story. I let you know I lied about a work permit that I went ahead and got a job at the elementary school. I was vacuuming the floors and hustled up $300 and bought a car for my mom's friend, right? Fast forward a little bit. I'm 16 years old. I gotta fucking tell you the story about me getting my license, because that was a trip, and it was a trip in itself. So I went and got my license, right? I'm taking the test, and I get inside the car and shit. It wasn't a Thunderbird I got to take the test in. It was like my uncle's car or some shit. I took the test in, and as I'm taking the test, I get in. The guy who's the tester or the fucking grader or whatever, he gets in. I'm just like, little kid, basically a little skinny dude. And I'm like, hey, what you want me to do? And he's like, show me what you can do. Show me what you can do and what you know. And I'm like, oh shit. So when he, gets off like that, I'm like, fuck, man. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna show him what I can do. Start driving this car, man. Doing my thing. We getting to the end of the the end of the test. Is a true story. Get to a stoplight and it's a turn, going left. And the light is stopped there and shit. And I'm just chilling at the light. And I could feel this motherfucker's eyes just beaming on the side of my shit. And I look over at him and he look at me, and his eyes go up basically like, like, what the fuck you gonna do? And I'm like, damn, am I supposed to fucking turn here or what? So I start creeping out a little bit, and this motherfucker was like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm like, yo, I thought you wanted me to turn, So basically the motherfucker failed me. Went back the second time. And motherfucking I passed. It was an old lady and shit. So I passed, got my fucking license. I was mad as fuck that I failed that first time. I was mad. I wanted to roll. But I got my license, drove this thing to school a couple times, and a month or so. Got another job at like McDonald's, I was there for about 2 weeks. The manager was a fucking dick. He was. But to answer the question of what happened to the Thunderbird, I was with my friends on a Saturday night and shit. We was at the mall, rolling. We got a couple chicks, so it was 3 of us, 3 chicks, 16 years old, coming off a motherfucking, a turn, ironically, to the fucking left, and the light was green, and I see a fucking 1960s Ford pickup hit me. Boom. Totaled the fucking car, right? Totaled it. Police take him away right away because this motherfucker was drunk. True story. So I've been battling with underachieving motherfuckers for a long time. Believe that. Believe that. But I wind up going and polishing fucking rims and shit in Commerce City for truckers and shit, and I hustled up about $500 and bought a 1975 K5 Blazer, and I can't wait to tell you the story about that motherfucker. That was a ride. That's story time though. That's what happened to the Thunderbird, 1979, brown. That motherfucker was long as shit, 21 feet long like the Batmobile. That was my ride, and I hustled that. But like I said earlier, back to this underachieving society, right? I get the notion or the people coming to me asking me like, hey, what do people who don't perform, what does that have to do with your life? And I'm trying to explain like, hey, you got to deal with these people any fucking way. You're going to deal with them one way or another in your life, right? What if one of these motherfuckers, with their habit of not achieving and not being in a good rhythm of shit and want to shortcut shit all the time. What if they get out in the world and they're like, hey, you know what I mean? I can always go home. With that attitude of I can always go home, I always got a fucking cushion or pillow. They're going to go out into the world and they're going to fucking half-step that motherfucker. They're going to half-step it. They're going to underperform. And that person might get a job at an airport. You know what I mean? Like, motherfucker might be a damn aircraft mechanic that they may have a shortage, right? And this motherfucker who's got those bad work habits be like, oh, fuck, you know what I mean? I'll just tighten this boat just a little bit. I don't do my job right. I'm just going to go ahead and just look over this. And you in a motherfucking airplane. You know what I mean? Fuck that. That'd be the one that you run into that doesn't really affect your life, my ass. Because that plane would be like, what the Ultimate Warrior said, a nose dive and shit. Fuck that. Fuck that and shit. But it's just shit like that. You know what I mean? You got infrastructure like bridges and shit. Motherfuckers get up there, have to work, don't want to work, but have to work. Get up there and, oh shit, we could just do it just real quick. No, you got to do it right. And they fuck that up, right? Bridge come falling down. I'm just saying. It's important. You will run into these people like that. But let's get into the first motherfucking clip. Shit, this was sent to me by my man. This was sent by Mondo. This dude right here. This is what I'm talking about. Shit like this. This is what I'm talking about. Wow. I don't know if you guys ever seen this. Come on. Ooh,
people.
Yeah. Check this dude out. Check this motherfucker out. He is tripping. Let me get this right first. There we go. There we go. That's right. Right there. But this dude right here is tripping. And I'm going to try not to cut him off. And shit. Let's try to let him flow. It was hard for me on the last one not to just cut these motherfuckers off and be like, yo, fuck that. You know what I mean? You gotta do. Get it up here on screen. Oops. There we go. Full. Check this dude out right here. He is complaining, of course, about work. Where my fair use at? This is for fair use and educational purposes. And check this shit out right here.
Wonder why we need a union at Starbucks, and I am literally about to quit. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna do it, but like, I really want to. I almost walked out today, and I'm crying in the back room right now, and I almost cried on the floor. It's just, I'm like a full-time student. I get scheduled for 25 hours a week, and then on weekends they schedule me the entire day, open to close. I'm on the schedule for 8.5 hours, both Saturday and Sunday. I'm like 3.5 hours into my shift. There's so many customers, and we have 4 people on the floor all day. Only 5 people were put on the schedule, and somebody had to call out. And there are 4 people running the whole store, and there's so many customers, and there's possibly scheduled 5 people. We only have 13 people employed at this store, and there's so many customers. And they're good. We don't have fair scheduling. Managers don't care about us. Our manager was supposed to come in this weekend, and he took himself off the schedule, so he wouldn't be able to be held accountable for calling out. He just literally tore down the schedule that he was scheduled on and put up a new schedule where he wasn't on the schedule. Also, he couldn't have even seen that he was scheduled in the first place because he didn't want to be held accountable for not wanting to come in. They don't want to help us. We need a union because this can't happen. This can't happen. We need fair scheduling. We need managers to hold themselves accountable for helping their workers. They refuse to turn mobile orders off. We need the liberty to be able to do that because there's so many mobile orders and I need to get through all of them. And then people are yelling at me because I don't have their orders ready and they don't know what to do. I can't do it. And a customer was misgendering me today, like really badly. I didn't have their order ready. And so they were...
Oh, I got to stop him. I went long enough. Let me see how long did I go for here. Wait a minute. Hold on real quick. Had to get there. Had to clear my throat real quick. But I heard him say that he's a full-time student and was only supposed to be a certain amount of hours, scheduled for a certain amount of hours. I get that. I'm trying to get the money, motherfucker. I am. I'm trying to get some money. So if somebody's trying to give me a little bit more money, if you're a full-time student, I'm trying to get that. But that's that underachieving shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do, you know what I mean, no more. And I'll damn sure do less. You know what I'm saying? But I won't do more. And then to get on, you know what I'm saying, like the internet, like this motherfucker got on the internet crying like this and shit. You know what I'm saying? And dude, I don't want to even get in the motherfucking he said he was misgendered and shit. I don't even want to get into that shit. I don't, man. You know what I mean? Like that don't got shit to do with shit. You know what I mean? Like you're on the internet motherfucking crying and shit. You know what I mean? Like real deal. Like crying about work, man. So what the fuck does that like show everybody else that weak-minded like you will get up on the internet? I'm crying. The other weak motherfucker sees it and says this behavior is acceptable. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Like talking to each other, and they're like, she's clearly incompetent. I have a full mustache and beard. What the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck?
I don't get accommodations for being neurodivergent. I don't.
What the fuck?
Like, I can't use. People get mad at me for using my sick time. I don't even know what to do anymore. I'm like at my wit's end with this job.
Just work.
I really am. I just want to
just work. You know what I mean? He said he don't know what to do. Just work. You know what I mean? Just work. You know what I mean? Nobody cares, motherfucker. Work harder. No one cares. Work harder. It's shit like that. Like nobody fucking cares, man. Just work motherfucking harder, G. You know? Just work harder, man. Let's see what else we got on this thing. That was some bullshit for real. Like getting on there to cry on the internet, and I don't know how many fucking. I don't think that's his video. I think somebody took it and did a reaction to that shit. But yeah, it's got a grip of views on it. It's got a grip of views. Let's see. Let's talk about. Let's see this lady right here. Nah, I'm not gonna do that one. Since it's part 2, why don't we go ahead and visit our buddy and let him finish what he was saying.
Hey everyone.
Oh shit, yeah, this dude. Let's see, where did I stop it last time? Let's see. Y'all remember this motherfucker. This dude made me mad. This motherfucker pissed me the fuck off last time. I know I shouldn't get pissed at these motherfuckers, but this dude right here was like, yeah, straight waste of space. This motherfucker right here. Let's see what he talking about. Let's see the rest of what he talking about.
I shouldn't have, but I opened a pay stub for the first time in a long time just to look how much money was deducted. I am not exaggerating. I live in Quebec. I get 30% of my salary removed. 30%. I make $30 an hour Canadian. My friend who works in Rawdon for a park, he cleans the leaves and stuff, makes $24 an hour. I make $6 an hour more than him. I only make $25 a week more than him. Because he gets less deductions on his salary. How stupid is that? You work more, you get more money. You just have more pressure. You work more, basically. You have a shittier job. And you don't make more. You barely get anything more. all excited for our vacation.
So let me stop this motherfucker real quick. He talking about fucking. He's in IT, right? And he says he's slaving and shit.
Like,
but he just said
Facebook.
his homeboy
Yes,
is making fucking. His homeboy does like landscape or some shit. He was saying, but he makes $25 more than him. My thing is that when dudes doing labor like that, yeah, they should make a little bit of money. And he's talking about the deductions. The guy probably owns his own shit, doing his fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? Like doing his construction and everything. But this dude right here was bitching about he had to work and shit. Just go back and watch the last video. But the dude's talking about a guy who's been there 25 years and shit. And he pities him because he's been there that long and shit like that, and he doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to really contribute like that, right? But what about that guy who worked that 25 years and shit, who fucks around and has a kid like you, who thinks that motherfucking he should work all that time and still take care of your grown ass? Makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? You didn't never think about that, did you, motherfucker? Did you? I done fucked up this whole damn cadence and shit. Or
yesterday we signed our first commercial client.
Yep. Nah, we're not doing him no more. I fucked it up with this shit. I must have scrolled the motherfucker the wrong way or whatever the fuck. But this dude right here, he's a motherfucking weasel to me. And yeah, he's a charlatan is what the fuck he is. That motherfucker is trying to get something for nothing ass. PPP loan scamming. Sell your ass a lemon on the verge of a fucking crooked ass lawyer ass motherfucker. He's a punk ass politician is what he is. Fuck it, we 22 minutes in this bitch. Let me just get to a real last one about the whole deal of an underachieving society. You know what I mean? Like, it's been a decline because soft times and shit, you know what I'm saying, make real deal men, like make real men. In good times and shit, they create soft fucking men. They do. Really do. Let me see. Let me get this one. Make sure that's paused. So, this video right here is fair use. I love Dave Ramsey. I came across this and shit, if anybody fucking knows Dave Ramsey, man, I just want to go with him and shoot guns because me and him, we have a lot of the same motherfucking, like, we got a lot of the same views, man. He's a brilliant dude, and I wish that a lot of people fucking like thought like him when it comes to just real shit. You know what I mean? This is the next clip right here. You got it. This is great. So check it out. Fair use.
Ken, I was listening to our friend Mike Rowe's podcast the other day, and he had an author on, Nick Eberstadt or Eberstadt. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I should have listened. Mike pronounced it because with his wonderful pipes, it was a great job of pronouncing it, right?
Yeah.
But you know, Mike has been sounding the same alarm that you and I have been sounding, particularly you, that we have what you were saying at the break is a social crisis evolving, and it's showing up in the unemployment numbers when we properly measure them. Now, this economist is a mathematician that did this book, How Things Work. I guess that's Mike's podcast. I don't see the name of his book off the top of my head. Somebody handed it to me the other day at an event I was at.
I believe it's Minute Work, if I'm not mistaken, something along those lines.
The essence of their discussion that you and I have been having a similar discussion is this shift in the workplace right now that we've got a large number of jobs available and no one applying for them. There's a shortage of labor for the first time in post-War War II America.
And I'm going to be rich.
We've never seen this in modern America. And the reason there's a shortage is not because the jobs are so plentiful. it's because there are, according to this article from Fox News, quoting Micro and quoting this economist, there are now 7 million able-bodied males between 25 and 40 years old that are able to work and are not even looking for work.
Yeah, it's correct, and it's staggering. And so the
I gotta stop him right there. Love Dave Ramsey. Did you hear that? 7 mil. Did you hear that? I'm not making this shit up. Motherfuckers refuse to fucking work. They refuse to. Able-bodied in a bitch. They refuse to. Keep going.
Here is that what's going on. This is causing massive economic problems. Before we look at the social, very quick glance here. When you have a gap in the jobs like we've had now for the last 2 years, then you've got real small businesses being hurt by this. Think about the restaurants in your small town. They can't find people to work, and it's affecting their livelihood.
Somebody
then the other
gotta be on
economic
fries.
factor is, of course, we saw and we still see a war for talent. And so wages have gone up tremendously in the last 2 years, which has now led to a stubborn inflationary period that we are in. Now, that's the economic piece. The social piece, what's crazy about this is that you've got 6.8 million people that last month, according to the latest jobs report and the Census Bureau, 100 million Americans weren't working last month. Now, half of them
100 million.
100 million. 100 million. But half
were working.
No, hold on.
No, we don't have 100 million unemployed. There's only 300 million in the whole stinking
Didn't say
country.
they were unemployed. I'm saying
Look
just
at Dave
not
Ramsey.
working, period. I'm just breaking the numbers down for you.
Yeah, like toddlers.
Half are retired.
Okay. All right.
Another 12% are dealing with some type of long-term illness, or disability. Okay. And then 5.6 million people saying, I don't want to go back to work because they're scared of COVID. And then the number is right at 7 million that are saying, I don't want to work. And those are the men. So the social factor that's going on here is you've got two factors. One, you've had decades and decades of entitlements. Starts with welfare. And then if you look at during COVID, where people were getting payments every week, every month, all right, so that's an entitlement where they're disincentivized to actually go back to work. And then, Dave, I think the fact that for decades we've literally taken the pain away from our kids. We've removed the struggle. And I don't say this with jest, but I think when you look at things like everybody gets a trophy for participation.
What the fuck did I say?
And nobody learns the sting of failure. Nobody learns the sting of rejection. And so what happens is a good amount of the 7 million men, not all of them, are in this conversation that Mike had with this economist, are looking at screens based on the data. They say how much time they spend on screens. They get dopamine hits.
2,000 hours a year.
2,000 hours a year.
These 7 million men, 25 to 54, are spending 2,000 hours a year on screens.
So self-medicating because they're scared to leave the cave, using your old analogy.
Not cave, it's mother's basement.
Right. But the idea is they're afraid to put themselves out there. And here's what we know about work. So when someone said,
I got to stop him real quick. 2,000 hours. I'm going to whip this out. I'm going to do the calculator so motherfucker can't say, oh, you made up some shit. Okay? 2,000 hours a year. 2,000, right? We're going to time that motherfucker by, let's just say $25. Ooh. $25. 2,000 hours. You see that? 50 grand. 50 grand. Wasted. Excuse me. That's that Liquid Death. Fuck that. Today's sponsor, Liquid Death. Y'all get me some of that shit. Hook me up with that cherry, that severed lime. That shit is good as hell. Liquid Death, and I'll be $11 a case. Y'all better hook me up. But anyway, 50 grand. The way I look at shit is I want to be making money when I sleep. You know what I mean? And that's just a capitalist mindset, man. You can't teach it. obviously you can't make a motherfucker want that shit. But 2,000 hours on Scream at $25 an hour, 50 grand, and this is fucking crazy. But let me back this up a little bit because I jumped in there a little bit. So let me slip it back here, and I'm gonna just let these dudes spit. I gotta stop it every now and then because I don't want to strike Dave Ramsey. If you see this or your people see it, please don't strike me. I love your show because you think just the fuck like me, straight up. And I don't know who this guy is. That should be me on the side of him and shit, doing my commentary in Dicky mode. Just let me curse all that shit. No, let me keep it going.
Hours a year.
2,000 hours a
These
year.
7 million men, 25 to 54, are spending 2,000 hours a year on screen.
So self-medicating because they're scared to leave the cave, using your old analogy.
Not cave, it's mother's basement.
Right.
Preach it.
But the idea is they're afraid to put themselves out there. And here's what we know about work. So when someone succeeds in work, their self-esteem goes up. 2, they have financial independence or the opportunity for financial freedom. And then 3, they're a part of something bigger than themselves. It's a sense of belonging.
Dr. John Deloney would tell you your mental health goes up because your dignity, your autonomy,
that's it.
Your ability to control your environment goes up. There is such a mental illness tie-in.
No question.
Caused by not working.
That's right.
Literally.
Yep.
So this idea that you have not put gravel in the stomach of your kids, they have no grit, means as a parent you suck. And so you mommies need to throw your 25-year-old out of your basement yesterday and put him on the street and teach him to work. You're late to the party, but you need to do this. You are doing him a disservice. You are doing America a disservice. You are doing your neighbors a disservice. You're doing the mental health community a disservice. You're risking his increased likelihood of depression, anxiety, and suicide.
That's exactly right.
You are doing all of these things because you're letting Junior play Call of Duty 2,000 hours a year in your basement, and he ain't ever been called to any duty.
Yeah. And the irony is you're doing all of that under the guise of helping your kid feel good about themselves. And the very thing that they need to feel good about themselves is to go out and do good.
Yeah,
There it is. There it is. And I just want to say that I fuck with Call of Duty. Of course, I'm a gun dude. Of course I do. You know what I mean? But it's not to the tune of me letting everything else go. You know what I mean? My priority is WCA. That's what makes shit go round. You know what I mean? Period, point blank. You have to produce money. You got to have money to live, period. But if I'm going to reward myself with a little bit of that, you know what I mean? I'm going to do a little bit of that. I'm not good at it like I used to be. You know what I'm saying? Like years and years ago when the first Modern Warfare came out, I was like, shit, I was good at that shit. Real good. But I don't play that shit like that. You know what I mean? I'm always doing bids at work. This right here is my fucking new therapy. I already been to therapy a year, EMDR, it's the shit. But this right here, podcasting, I got to do something media because, music was my love, my first love, supercharger heaven, you know? But I let these dudes keep going, but they are dead on. They're spot the fuck on. Somebody get me on the Dave Ramsey show, please.
Wussification of America.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of wussies.
Yeah.
Is what it amounts to. And, seriously, a good cowboy boot in the butt of this whole thing would be helpful. It really, really would. It just pisses me off. I mean, this is just a thing where you just need to work. Oh, my God. 7 million, and they call them men in this article. I'll call them males.
Preach, bro.
All right? Males, 25 to 40, 7 million of them, literally sitting on their butts. And someone else is caring for them. The government, their mommy, their live-in girlfriend.
That's that bullshit.
Who thinks he's cute.
Preach.
Here's the breakdown.
Got a sugar mama, do you, buddy?
Here's here's some of the census data, Dave, from a Bloomberg article. The equivalent of 32 million people who aren't working are relying on savings. That includes retirement. Okay, another 26 million are using credit cards or loans, and 12 million have been borrowing
the credit
from
card
families.
is the devil. It's at the center of the problem.
There it is. And then here's the part we've been talking about. 12 million have said that they're borrowing from family or friends to help keep them out of the workforce.
Yeah.
They're living off
family
of
and
other
friends.
people. Gotta
You're
cut
not.
'em off.
You're enablers.
Yep.
You're giving a drunk a drink.
That's
You're
it.
giving a lazy person the ability to still be lazy. You're giving someone who's in avoidance mode because they're afraid, they're scared, they're paralyzed by the facing reality and stepping into the real world, when the best thing that can happen to you, the most alive you'll ever feel, is when you risk it and you step up to the plate and the ball comes whizzing across and scares the piss out of you while you swing the bat. This is the best thing that can happen to you.
That's right.
And you strike out.
Right.
And it's okay.
Right.
Sometimes it doesn't work out. Oh, darn.
Well, I think the simplest way to look at what Dave is saying is, remember all of us when we rode a bike the first time, we were terrified, horrified maybe.
I'm terrified right now.
Yeah. But what happened? Like, we took that fear, we stepped into it, we learned to ride the bike, and it wasn't much longer before we were saying, look, Mom, no hands.
I got to stop him right there real quick. I just want to touch on that ride a bike. I wasn't scared. Motherfucker, I thought I was on Street Hawk, and I was going to ride my motherfucking Street Hawk out the damn window in case of a fucking fire, a house fire. Come on.
From terrified to get on the bike to, look, Mom, no hands. And that's the human spirit. The idea of these kids, these men, I shouldn't say kids, but some of them are emotionally kids.
Yeah.
They need to feel alive. And the way you feel alive is by making a contribution for yourself and for others. That's simple.
You don't feel alive where there's no risk.
Word.
Well, that's exactly right.
And the coddling of the American male, the wussification of this culture, it is really starting to be a social problem.
And now an
It
economic
started out as a parenting problem. It started out as this. And hey, man, I don't know. No. I'm just going to blame you moms and dads.
Well, I would say the friends and the parents are absolutely culpable. And I would say this.
I can blame Call of Duty if you want, but moms and dads that are good moms and dads rip that crap out of the wall and say, get your butt out and mow the grass.
Here's one other one. We the people, taxpayers, we got to
quit giving these morons money to sit on their butts.
No more government entitlements. That's where we the people can do something.
It's just not good for the moron, and it's not good for the government, and it's not good.
Yeah. Exactly what he said. So the whole thing is, when you got, like I said earlier, when these guys get out in the workforce and they know damn well, hey, I can go back to moms, they're going to underperform like a motherfucker. They're going to look at the manager or boss and shit, I ain't doing that. You know what I mean? I get off at this time, motherfucker don't ask me to do no more. And shit, everything is easy street. Everything is motherfucking, I'm going to do the bare bones minimum. And that's fine, because somebody got to be on fries. If you want to be average, you're going to get average results. You know what I mean? That's fine. But do your fucking part. You know what I'm saying? Get out there. Do your part. Somebody has to be on fries, man. This is the conclusion of it, man. So they said it nicer than me. Dave Ramsey and the other guy. I can only say it like I can know how to say it, you know what I mean? And I know how to say it like, you know, motherfucker, you got to work, you know what I'm saying? You're a bitch and this and that, you know what I mean? That's just the way I do, you know what I mean? But these guys right here hit it right on the head. They hit it out the park, the whole nine, man. And that's it, you know what I mean? That is it. This has been the rise of an underachieving society, you know what I mean? Part 2. And that last clip, I really hope that you guys really analyze that shit and get everything out of it. And that was fair use. Don't strike me. And I'm up out of here, man. I'm up out, you know. Wow. Gotta work. Gotta take care of yourself. This has been the Quint Dickey Show. The fuck? Damn it. Is this motherfucker gonna get up out of there? Nope. That's not. That's why. There we go. Let's show the FNX. FNX Tactical. Because that is the gun. If shit ever hit the fan, hell of a gun to have. We out. This has been the show.